Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. We're going to talk about interesting topics today. This is just in. Let's wait for the people to come in before we start. Let me just check out how does the sound on my earphones. Just a second, guys. Sound check. Hold up. It doesn't sound that good, but I guess we can start off, not despite of that. Hold up. All right, we got people in. Welcome everybody. Evgenia, Lina, Bill. I hear you. Let me bring this closer, maybe like this. All right, welcome everybody. We got people celebrating Trump's victory. That is nice. But guys, this just in, and I was I was given this tip to make a video about this topic. It's about Finnish-Russian border. And let me just go through the news. We're gonna go into discussion what I think is the situation. You guys can join in and use super chats to support the channel and all that good stuff. Blue Sky, Wanderer Tiles. Игорь, как день? I'm doing good. Hello, поздрав из Belgrade, Serbia. Hello, my Serbian brothers and sisters. All right, so I was somebody told me, expat American actually sent me a message that there's a news circling in Russia, in Telegram mostly, and some news as well. I'm not sure where, but the news is that it goes as follows. Hold up, let me just, oh, I can't bring it up, or maybe I can. Just wait a second. I'm gonna read it from word. Just a second, guys. Dani Levi, привет. It requires me to re-enter. I don't want to lose this stream. So anyways, I remember it was quite a short news. The news goes that Finland and Russia are negotiating about opening the borders, and I think this is getting some rounds in Russia. And me knowing exactly what's the situation, I'm gonna comment on that and make my prediction. The one news was that that was the main headline, and the other headlines were that the reasons because of that is that Finland's border areas are, feeling the economical influences of this border closure, and that is why that it is like the news is signaling that that's the main reason for Finnish starting to think about this opening the borders. And the same thing was in the other Telegram as well. I don't have any sources. All I have is some telegrams, plus I hear that it's been in the news also in Russia, in some like a proper news, so to speak. Unfortunately, guys, hold up. Am I able to do this No. All right. Unfortunately, I have to be take a few steps back. If that would be the case, you guys know that I would be the happiest guy ever to make to celebrate this. But I have learned because of this situation not to be celebrating way too early. It just as is. I'm not gonna break it down for you in pieces why I think so politically, but then I'm gonna tell you how to travel to Russia, how it was traveling to Russia from Finland before this border closure and how it was like after the closure, what the current situation, and of course how do I see it in the future. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Igor in Russia. I'm a foreigner traveling to Russia, filming Russian cities, locations, culture, events. Absolutely love this place. And if you like this, one of the designs of Igor's Russian shop, you can check the link in the description and get your own cool and quality, good quality hoodies, t-shirts, etc. Yes, Evgenia also says that it's been in the news, but let me break it down to you. There is no news in Finland about this situation. No news at all. Nobody's writing about this topic. And let me know if you cannot hear me well. I will bring this camera closer. But there is no news about this border opening anywhere in Finland. And that is weird because people are brainwashed nowadays to, to not wanting the border opening. First of all, Finnish people do not want the border open because the background situation is most people unfortunately are too scared to travel to Russia because they have been brainwashed over the decades and reading, fake news and stuff. And that's why my videos are good, because you see how it is in real life, but they don't know that. Most people don't know it. And so most people don't want it, or at least they think they don't want it. The one reason that somebody might want it non-politically is the border areas of the eastern Finland, and that place, they don't have a say in this thing, mainly in the mainstream media especially. So if there would be negotiations going down, the media would probably take some, they would like to make reports already right now about it. If there's rumors in Russia, there's definitely rumors in Finland, but there is no news about this. So that gives me a hint that this might be possibly not true, at least yet. And the previous news that we heard from Finland, and yes, Russian border has always been open. Notice, the only border that has been closed is actually just the Finnish border or or Polish border. Russian borders are still open. They're not just working because of the counterparts. So before this, they closed it. I think it's like exactly 1 year ago. 1 year ago, the border was closed, and then they reopened it for a day. And during the same day or after like 24 hours, they closed it down because reportedly there were some illegal immigrants coming from Russia and now the narrative has been that they continued the border closure for like in periods, right? So recently, I think it was before the summer or during the summer, lately they said that it will be all closed indefinitely, which is pretty big jump, in worsening this situation. So it's definitely closed, quote, until we get guarantees from Russia. That's what they said, and Russia said it's just like are you crazy? And so that's the latest news, and nobody speaks about, nobody cares about it, except the tens of thousands of minority Russian Finnish people, or just Russian people who have the right for free movement. That is me, for example. So that's the situation. So that's why that would be a great news, but since there is no news in Finland about this, makes me wonder that this might be actually not true. I hope I'm wrong. But and the second part, it's not the border opening. What does it mean? In the news they reported that the situation is hard for the region or border regions, true, it is. It's the main big income was tourism, and quite frankly, nobody travels there unless they're coming from Leningrad Oblast to Moscow. Like, that's just the fact. Nobody needs to go to those nice little towns, but usually you go there just for a day shopping like they used to from Russia. Notice there's around 5 to 7 million people living in Leningrad, St. Petersburg alone. Leningrad Oblast included, that's like way more population than in whole of Finland. So that is a good economic power and income. But mostly it's one of those people who want to travel to Russia, get some stuff and return home, or those who travel to Helsinki and on the way they go through Imatra or Lappeenranta, smaller cities. So anyways, if they open the border, they would not open it for Russian tourists. The same thing as everywhere else, because European borders are closed for tourists, and Finland also closed it for tourists. Only those who have like another destination as a tourist, another destination than Schengen area, meaning you have a flight ticket to somewhere else. So that's the only reason. So that would not bring any significant help to the border areas. Wanderer Tile says, I hope trade can resume and bring back life to the economy here. Yes, so I assume you're from Finland, or yes, I also think so, hope so. But I think it's not happening now. I hope I'm wrong, but based on these latest news, that's all I can say, guys, unfortunately. So if Christopher, Sweden is in. Hi, all interested, Igor, I'm listening. Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me well. I don't use the microphone yet. Let me know if I need to, then I will. Okay. Let me know, by the way, if you think I need to put a little microphone here. I can do it. So potential opening at the conditions from February 22 to September 22. I don't understand the question. September 22, what? I'm not sure what does it mean. So, any case, so the reason also the proof in the news that it might be not wrong is the reason for Finland's will in negotiating the border opening. The economic situation, hate for Russia is so big in Finland that they actually don't care about. I'm just like, how do I say? I'm exaggerating a bit, but they don't really care about the Eastern Finland in this situation. The safety, or people in the woods who are waiting for Finnish. So the ones. Illegal immigrants, 1 year sitting in some bushes in the woods. Allegedly, they are more important not to open the border than any economic situation of the Eastern Finland, which is the most undeveloped in the whole of Finland. All right, so that would be awesome, by the way, if we could open the borders. That would be so great, and of course, not even speaking about how great would be return to quite normal times, or even the times when we had fast-speed trains between Helsinki, St. Petersburg. 3.5 hours by train was amazing, guys. You had the border check on the move. That was so great time. The tickets were cheap and fast, so that was great. You could take a 1-day trip to St. Petersburg or vice versa to Helsinki. That was great time, but now the trains have been used for, I don't know, some shitty routes throughout Finland. I don't know, routes that nobody cares about, but the trains have been taken out of the whole thing, so I don't think the trains are coming back ever. The trains were 50-50 collaboration between Finland and Russia, but I don't know about the legal things, who owns what and who needs what money back. So that was great time, but that, I guess we have to kind of forget about it. No, they're not destroyed. They're being, of course not. Are you crazy? Why would they destroy? They cost tens of millions of dollars and euros. They probably, not probably, they have been transferred somewhere else in Finland, by the way, because they were left on the Finnish side after the border closure. And I was on one of the last trains, and I think I did a video about it. Yes, I did. If you go back to 2022 April, I did a video with one of the latest Allegro trains, one of the last. Talladega night gaming. I wonder if improved relations is a result of election results. Well, if that would be the case, but like I made my case here, they won't. This is not real, at least not now, or at least not based on any proper sources. That's what I gotta tell you. And notice, if you, I think the background sound is a bit too loud. If you would know more about like this USA elections versus the European frame of mind, is that, you know, these smaller countries who are like crazy on the crazy hatred path against Russia right now, so they won't, you know, they will not change the policies because of possible Trump's policy change in the United States. So meaning they will not be any more friendly to Russia, even though if Trump would be seemingly be more nice. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Музыка это background, музыка просто. It's a background music, guys, sorry. So Finland would not be starting quickly, especially quickly started negotiating about anything. They would be actually more interested about how do they look in front of the European Union's eyes, so-called partners. So that's why they would not suddenly open the borders. They should, but they won't. That's what I believe, and I've been saying for a long time, and unfortunately I have been right. So yeah, Allegro trains were the great way, plus we had buses, and after, when the Allegro trains stopped moving, the borders were still open until March. Yeah, till March 2023, we had buses going also. We had Lux Express, Ecolines, and Sobafto, and I made videos about all of these, you know, bus rides, which is the cheapest, which is the fastest, etc. So 3.5 hours changed to like around 8-9 hours at best to St. Petersburg or back. And of course, when the border closed in March 2023, the only and the best option was going through Narva, or later on, as I learned, through Luhamaa and Pskov. And I made all these routes available on my channel, which one is the best way to travel, etc. And yes, please do comment and you know, leave a comment, and also, you know, support the channel with a super chat if you want to highlight your question or a comment. All help goes to my trips that I of course planning already to do. Next one into Russia. Let's see what happens. There is now a lot of positivity going around. Maybe something will happen. I will hope so, but I think I made my point based on based on facts. I have my Finnish Schengen visa until May 26, but I don't have money to go to Europe, given that as a Russian I can't go through Estonia. Yes, you can go Finland, Estonia, because tourist entrances are banned. That's what I said. If Finland would open the border, I doubt there is no political reason for them to let tourists in. They do not. One thing is, Finnish people want to be in line with Europe, so they would never do something that would be in benefit for them, if it would make them look bad in front of some of the crazy nations. Not all, because not everybody is crazy in Europe, but they are not the border countries in that case. Yes, but if you can go to Turkey, you should go to Turkey. Why you want to go to Schengen? Turkey, Istanbul beats Europe 1 million to nothing easily in tourist point of view. But of course, right now we're not talking about this. We're talking about free movement. All right, so if you want to travel to Russia or from Russia, if you're a foreigner, non-Russian, the best way is to travel through Narva, and I made a lot of videos. There's tons of little details, and I help a lot of travelers across the world actually to travel through Narva to Russia and back, and I have special membership for that actually. But from Helsinki, because we're talking about now Helsinki, Finland, and going to Russia, since that isn't possible, you have to go through a ferry to Tallinn, from Tallinn to Narva and to Russia. That all takes about 16 hours. That's crazy, guys. And notice that from Tallinn to St. Petersburg, it's like 5-6 hour trip without stops by bus. Brussels, Belgorod, Moscow. Yes, sure, there's a lot of ways to go to Russia, which none of them is better than through Narva. But you can fly through Belgrade to Moscow, you can fly via Istanbul, you can fly via Dubai or Asian countries to Moscow or St. Petersburg. But yeah, you have to, depends on where you're coming from. Narva border is now really unpredictable. That's why the Finnish border opening would be helpful for everybody. First of all, for the people who are traveling. You know, most people who travel to Russia have relatives, family, husbands and wives, you know, own personal reasons. Then there's of course people like me who just want to go there, and that's my own business. And as a free person, I have the right to, except that they closed the freaking border. Hello Edelwolf, nice to see you. We're talking about the possible Finnish border opening, which is of course, not so easy topic. I heard people doing Western Europe, Kaliningrad, St. Petersburg. Yes, that is one way. Notice that going to Kaliningrad is also like at the border from Poland or Lithuania. It's like a 9-hour thing, approximately, maybe less, and maybe even more, depends on the day. But from Kaliningrad, you can easily then fly to St. Petersburg, and you can get on spot tickets, the cheapest ones for like 50-60 bucks, which is really nice. And of course, you should definitely visit Kaliningrad. And if you want to see my visit to Kaliningrad, you can always, hold up, here it is. You can link in the chat. You can see all my videos from all around Russia and elsewhere with interactive links to my videos. I've done 2,200 videos, I think more, 2,800, I don't know, a lot of videos. So I've seen it all, and I still want to see it even more. But if you want to see Kaliningrad, sure, then you can fly to St. Petersburg, Moscow from Kaliningrad. It's also possible. But if you want to go only to St. Petersburg without visiting Kaliningrad, I don't know if is it worthy of the time. But like I said, Estonian Narva is the easiest one, but also most unpredictable currently, because Estonians want to spend the time and the effort to check everybody's bags, and that means the line that used to take 2 hours at worst on the Estonian side takes now around, around 6 to 8 hours, and this is standing outside, whether it's rain, snow, cold or hot. I experienced super hot weather, like super hot weather, standing for 3.5 hours, which is normal time. Then of course you have the Russian side where you have to wait for you used to wait there for 3-4 hours, but because Estonians are now so slow, so the flow is slower to Russian side, so the Russians can make it through inspecting people in like 1 to 2 hours. So altogether, standing in line depends on situation. Sometimes in Narva, why is this so inhumane right now, is that if you come a little bit later in the evening, notice in the evening, the border is closing at 11 p.m. So that means there's very often situations where people are left out. For the night in Narva. So you find out a little bit before 11 that you won't be passing the border. That means you have to wait. And every morning, Narva border becomes its minimum 2-hour wait at 6 a.m. I think it was 7. I think it's 7 a.m. when it opens. So there's always line. So in case you're a fast one, you still have to wait in the morning another 2-3 hours, maybe 4. So the other way that I found good one is through Luhamaa by bus, but my experience was last time I traveled, well, from Helsinki to home, St. Petersburg, I traveled 24 hours. 20 freaking hours, 24 hours. But from Tallinn to St. Petersburg, it took me 16 or 17 hours. Imagine that. All right, time for some commentaries before we continue talking about the border situation. What you guys wrote, Tbilisi, Moscow. Sure, but Georgia is not the cheapest one to fly to. Not the most expensive either. We got, yes, there are direct flights now, I think, via Yerevan also. All right, guys, this is just in. Once again, this is just the Russian side of the news. The Russian side of the news, let me tell you, hold up. Here it is. This news is from Ura News, and this is not blocked by the Western, by the West. Hold up. Let me just read it to you. Can I translate it? Hold up. Here it is. So it says, I don't think there's translations, but I can do it. It's easy for me. Let me just write the news for you. Hold up. Ura. It means hooray, basically. Ura.news. Does it work? Oh, oops. Hold up. And of course, I cannot see the link here. You have to search it here, guys. It's not the latest news, I guess. Yeah, I'm giving up. It's on this side, but let me translate it. Ura, ura, Edelwolf knows knows the Russian meaning of Ura. But let's not celebrate too fast, right? It says in Russian, границу Финляндии и России хотят открыть в 2025 году из-за проблем в экономике. So like I said, I don't believe it. Hello Black Cat, my friend. Hello on the road traveling for work. How are we all? Hello Igor. Nice to have you, Black Cat. Guys, it's nice to have a live stream even though the content is a bit different, right? All right, drive safely, Black Cat. All right, the news says, and this is what I explained at the beginning of the video, I don't believe it. It says, the border of Finland and Russia wants to be opened in 2025, so not this year, because of problems with economics, me referring to Eastern Finland. Like I said, nobody cares in Finland about Eastern aerial problems when it comes to the border. You can go watch back in the beginning of the video, first 20 minutes. I don't believe it. This is or at least if they do want to reopen it, definitely not because of these reasons. I might be wrong, but I'm rarely am. But first of all, based on these sources, notice I need more sources to convince me more. Let's continue. Финляндия и Россия обсуждают возможность открытия границы между странами. Finland and Russia is our discussion about possibilities of opening borders between the countries. Это может произойти не раньше конца февраля 2025 года. They're not hurrying this up. It could be possible no faster than the end of February 2025. Среди причин называется ухудшение экономической ситуации в северной стране. One of the reasons is named the worsening situation at the of economical situation of the northern country. It's very aerial influence, so well, it's hard for me to believe that that's the reason, guys. But very nice of you. Hello Igor, says Raymond Toop. The news continues, it's not a long one. Граница Финляндии с Россией может открыться не раньше конца февраля 2025 года. No earlier than February 25. Переводит петербургское издание 47 News. So this was according to the St. Petersburg's news agency 47 News. Whoa, and this is not finally, I can hear the source. The source is Finnish and Russian border control. Black Cat, oh man, I really feel for you, my brother. During the conversation, Finns reported or announced Finns have said, I don't know who are they referring to. Finns in general said that the Finnish border control has turned into an element of political battles. They would never say that in public. Finnish people are too scared to say these things out loud, so usually it's all like nice and needy and calm. They would not say that, and I haven't heard about this, so it's not true. It is true, but in a way, in a big way, but not in a public discussion. Хотя изначально Хельсинки ссылались на угрозу миграционного кризиса, even though Helsinki meaning the government, was talking about migrational crisis in the November 2023 when they started to started to halt the border movement. All right, one more paragraph, couple more paragraphs or more. No, just couple. It says, according to 47 News, Finnish, in Finland, the economics are worsening. It's not actually. Locally, yes. And if it was worsening, they wouldn't speak about it. So yeah. Black Cat asks, any trolls? I haven't seen. I think they all mostly have died or they are asleep in cells. All right, continue. Поскольку после закрытия границ упал поток туристов. And the reason for the worsening situation is because after the border closure, the tourist amounts have dropped severely. And it was given the stimulus to the country. And the Finns and the Finnish went to Russia for gas. And also there are, according to this news, there was only humanitarian problems. A lot of families have no way to connect. And this is 100% true. Tens of thousands of people travel. There's 70,000 of minority group in Finland, Russian Finnish people like me. And many have relatives, family there, and there's no way to travel. Meaning, somebody would say that you can go through Narva. Well, that's not easy, especially if you're not in good condition, if you're elderly people, person, etc. I've seen some guys. You should be ashamed if you would see the stuff that I see at the border. You know, some grannies. You know, so there is things to be looked at the mirror. Aimo says, Yle just covered the story, which is like national government news, sort of covered the story about the economic situation in Imatra due to border closure. And yes, like I said, it's locally, it's fact, it is true. And this has been said for as long as there's been this crisis. So it is true, but notice, I don't think that local influence would influence governmental decisions on this scale. I don't think so, and I don't think anybody thinks so. It should matter, but it doesn't, I think, until it does, of course. And exactly, the tourist reason is not valid because Finland, despite opening the borders, they would not start granting the tourist visas or let tourists in, those who have visas. I think they've expired, most of them. So yeah. Black Cat, love you. We love you back, sir. Right, lately the question about border opening has gone back into discussion. It hasn't. That's the problem. Like I said, they just notified when they made the law that actually is a safety precaution for possible migration crisis, which never happened. Again, well, the border is closed, so they can't even say it did happen or would have happened or not. But anyways, even though they made the law, they just said, well, we're not gonna open the borders until blah blah blah. It's the game, guys. It's just a freaking game. Is that a new hoodie or a lol, Igor? No, this is the new hoodie, guys. And it has in the back also, and also Igor in Russia at the lower back. This is my favorite. You can check out Igor's Russian store, link in the description. And also some new stuff coming up. Christopher says, I follow international economic news closely. Energy costs are killing the EU area's economy. It's really bad now, getting worse. Yes, possibly. In some countries worse than others, for sure. Remember, guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm Igor in Russia, foreigner traveling to Russia from EU and filming the amazing Russia, St. Petersburg and elsewhere. And remember, guys, you can also support, leave a comment and support with the super chat, or just use Buy Me a Coffee. Link in the description. All right. That was the news, and that was on Ura.ru. I'm gonna tell who. Somebody sent it to me. But I have break it down a little bit why I don't believe it's true, at least on the same level. I haven't heard that has been discussions about opening the borders in Finland. In Russia, this is possible, but I don't know the sources. They might talk about the worsening situation locally in Finland, but that's nothing new. All right, guys, GTG, thanks for the stream. I think we are getting close to opening the border, maybe a year or so. It's a long time, my brother. It's a long time. Remember, push like as well, by the way. Let's get this party going. So currently the best option to travel to Russia if the Finnish border doesn't open, it's through Narva or through Estonia. Narva or Estonia, Luhamaa, a little bit southern, and that's an overnight. The other one is not overnight, and the other one is by bus, and the other one is by bus, then by walk-in, and then by bus. So if the Finnish border would open, what would happen? What would actually happen and how that would change? First of all, there are no buses waiting to be activated just like this. And before this border closure, there was three different bus companies that traveled. There was all of them. Two of them are Estonian / Latvian, and one is Russian. And I've used them all, and I have made videos about them. It is Lux Express. They are all like fine quality, at least the first two, and the other one is a bit lower, but it's just fine. 8 out of 10. So Lux Express, and then there's Ecolines. The tickets used to be from Finland. It was pretty crazy in sometimes, but the price was almost $100, 100 euros. And cheapest it was, I think it was 47 euros. I don't know why, because Tallinn is 47 euros. And then there was Sovavto, which is the cheapest one. It was, I think it was 40. It's been a year, guys, so I can't remember. It will be back maybe. Where are you going, my man? So basically these three companies are the only options, and if the border would open, if everything would go back to normal, the difference with Estonian border is that you could actually take your private car to Russia and from Russia, because on Estonian border only the Luhamaa does this. I think maybe another one as well. So yes, and that basically, I've heard that people have waited for 1 day or maybe 2 days, not moving from the border, not being let through Estonian side. So it's really random. It's crazy. So in Finland, you go in a line and they let you in, and that's it, unless they change it. This is the only option. So no border crossing as a pedestrian, unlike Estonia, but vehicular transitions would be very possible. And that's the great thing. Buses and private cars. And that means you can travel by buses, or you can travel with somebody, you as a passenger. Note, technically, and sometimes they do try to check you. You're not allowed to pay for your travel to somebody that you don't know, basically, or even do know. Meaning, you have to have a taxi license to charge somebody for being a passenger. Yes, Finland loves crazy laws and try to somehow uphold it. So technically, you're not allowed to, travel and pay for your trip. That was last year. Yes, and that's the only reference we have. Because last time the border was open in Finland was November, was it? It was early November a year ago when it closed. I think like a year ago, right? Maybe in actually September, October, sorry. So that's how would it change. So, and also the influence, I don't know what's the percentage, but a noticeable percentage would be also moved from this unnecessary trip to Narva from Finland and going to Russia and back. They would be reversed to Finland, meaning it would be less people waiting in line in Estonia. So this would be take off the pressure, because clearly at any given moment, if you check out the border, for example, Narva cameras, you will see that there's a line all the way until, most of the times, a line until the Narva, city text, or what you call it, logo or whatever, letters. And that means it's like 4 to 6 hours waiting time, 4 at minimum, at the current Estonian rate speed, meaning they have to check everybody, they want to. All right, guys, this is the news, and let's give out some space for you guys to join the chat. Let's see what we have here. Remember, push like. You can also use super chat to support your local YouTube's favorite, Igor. And all the support means support to travel to Russia and make the awesome videos that you so like. So considerate what you guys talking about. And yes, Yelena, you are correct. You are going a little bit like over 10 years back, but back in the day, there used to be small Russian minibuses traveling like in tens of numbers daily. These are called shopping trips. And these trips used to cost like around 15 euros, dollars. And sometimes it went a little bit higher, maybe 20, depends on the bus. So that was back in the day for sure. I used to travel once, so like that. There used to be different marshrutkos, small minibuses, but some of them were like soul shopping trips that even though people bought stuff from Helsinki, they actually traveled and stopped in few places on the way. So I had to, as me who was wanting to go just to Russia, it was a 3-hour trip turned into 5. It was pretty crazy. I remember. Да, были времена. Yeah, they were the times. Black Cat says Igorian nation. For sure. What did they buy in Helsinki? Well, lots of different stuff, but Finland, the quality is usually better if you buy some stuff, and the discounts are better. Yes, Finland is like 5th most expensive country in the world or something, Helsinki. But the discounts are pretty amazing. You can get a 70% discounts and stuff. These discounts do not exist in Russia, especially not for brand clothing. So, but in general, I would say people brought cheese, yes, Finnish cheese, and especially salmon. And because it's a high quality, it's quite expensive. Yeah, you can get it for a good price in Finland. Igor тебя спрашивает, can you enter Russia with backpack by foot with the right of documents? I don't think anybody cares what is your luggage like. Is it backpack or luggage, backpack, a bag? It doesn't matter as long as the content is something that is not currently sanctioned and otherwise legal. You folks stay blessed. Yes, I think we're gonna talk just a little bit before we wrap this up. Time for questions. Join in, everybody. Do Ecoline buses still travel from Moscow to Riga? In 2022, that was a decent route. Hello, Nathan. And I don't think they do travel to Moscow. I think they travel to St. Petersburg, which is like, I don't know is it how faster it is, because from the exact bus station that you arrive to St. Petersburg, you can hop on a Moscow bus in case you want to go to Moscow, or you can take a 5-minute taxi-ish, 5-minute taxi to Moscow train station and hop on a night train, or Sapsan, which is 4 hours. And I made videos about traveling to Moscow and from Moscow to St. Petersburg on Sapsan and also Lastichka. Sapsan is a 4-hour trip, and Lastichka is a 5.5-hour trip. And the night trains are like 8, 10, or even 13-hour, 12, 13-hour trips, but they are overnight. Do Russians eat Christmas cake? I don't think there is such a thing in Russian Christmas tradition as cake, Christmas cake, but there's a Christmas food for sure. All right, guys, do we have any other questions? I think we've been really effective on this one. Cheese, salmon, coffee. Yes, coffee, laundry, detergents were the most brought items. Thank you, Aimo. And these are all the things that you can buy. That's why these are the most common things that you can find in the small Finnish stores of St. Petersburg, especially St. Petersburg on Viborg. And these are of course black market stuff, and I think they've always been in these type of shops, but you can still get those, but the prices are a little bit higher than in normal times. We eat Russian salad at New Year. Yes, Russian salad, you mean Olivier, right? January 7th, real Christmas. Yes, real Russian Orthodox Christmas. Black Cat points to you. Zaporozhets, guys. This, by the way, was bought in Voronezh 9 years ago. And in case you want to know, I have a still ongoing series of me traveling to Voronezh and going to provincial Russia. Man, I feel so badly. I want to sneeze, but I don't want to do it live. Sure, I can make a turn the volume off. Oh man, hold up. Let's do this here. I will try to set a goal for 1 super chat in regulation, in plans of making sometimes soon, I hoping to becoming a full-time Russian YouTuber on Russia. Based on that, we need to set up goals, guys. I would really hope that this news was true. I really hope. This would help everybody traveling from Russia. Hold up. Why? Thank you so, man, I tried to, hold up. I'm trying to answer here. You're the best. Thank you so much, Black Cat. As always, thank you so much. I appreciate it, sir. We need to, hold up. We need to have another one by somebody else. Maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna try this thing because Black Cat helps so much this channel. It's not just as a community leader, a captain, also as a as a friend for sure, but it's also he's helped this channel financially. There's a lot of big burden of me doing these trips by myself, putting all my time and effort and health and mental health into this, so it helps, you know, it helps. Rich asks, when are you going back to? But anyway, yes, I want to just finish by saying thank you so much. I appreciate it. I've told you many times. Thank you, sir. Rich asks, when are you going back to Ru? As I mentioned earlier, my visa has run out, a 1-year visa. So what I'm going to do right now is to apply for another one, and then we will try to get the well, you will find out later. I will make a documentary about it. Right. What was the other question? Don Jones says Norway, Murmansk. Yes, if you want to travel. Oh man, Black Cat. Can I put like here? Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. We need to get, well, thank you so much. I just from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. This, as I told you and you guys before, it energizes me, and because otherwise it is, you know, the time I spent is so tough. Some of you know how much I put into this. Thank you so much, Black Cat. I really appreciate it, and I really pray for your strengthening for sure. And I have, and I will. Just a quick answer about Norway. Going to Norway, sure, it's like, yeah, it's possible. Not for tourists once again. Norway closed the entrance for Russian tourists, like as the last European country, non-EU but European country. But sure, if you can get there, it's pretty long way, you know. You have to travel. If you go through Finland, that's 1,300 kilometers. Then you go to cross the border to Norway, and from Norway to Murmansk, it's pretty. Then you have to travel down, I guess, to St. Petersburg. It's gonna take you over 2 days, I would say. There was a local agreement between Norway and Murmansk. It has been cancelled. Yeah. Hold up. Being cancelled. It allowed the local population to cross the border. Yeah, the world is freaking crazy right now. Thank you so much, Black Cat. Love you, sir. Love you back, man. Get well, my brother. What's going on? Here we go. All right. I'm not sure about Murmansk. For Russian citizens, it closed, that's for sure. Yes, indeed. Girl from Peter I met in Armenia said that if you saw someone in a bar in Peter who was really drunk or was wearing a cap, you knew they were Finnish. Yes, possibly if you're not the youngest dude like me anymore, but yes, wearing a cap. But in St. Petersburg, I don't know about that. Like seriously, St. Petersburg is really hip. You know, depends on the type of person you are. If you're a person in St. Petersburg and you're you know, a bit more hipstery, you might wear whatever, you know. But if you're like if you're a typical dude, Russian dude, you would not wear a cap for sure. So it depends on a place and location. I'm moving Igor to an apartment. My economy is now minus, by the way. Oh, I feel ya. I can relate. And where are you moving? Hold up. Hold up. 78. All right. I need a small place in Russia. Yes, Black Cat, I told you I'm gonna help you find one. Our cat is on the move. Let's see if he will come up and say hi. But for sure we can get you I can find you in St. Petersburg or elsewhere in Russia. But it's gonna, you as a foreigner from outside Russia are gonna need a Russian speaking person like me or my connections maybe, in order to, you know, be able to rent a room or apartment, or a room even, but you would prefer an apartment. Long story short, I'll tell you later next year. All right, we'll be waiting. Yes. And I'm really a little bit worried about getting into Belarus this year, as I was planning. Because going to Belarus, it's visa-free until the end of the year. But there's a little problem, because right now I will have to give my passport to visa to the embassy so that they make me a visa. And that means the passport is not in my hands, and I'm not able to travel. So yeah, I'm wondering, I might travel because of personal family reasons to Riga, maybe film there meanwhile, or maybe just go to Norway and film Russia from the border. Once again, would you like me to do that? Let me know. Hold up, let me do a questionnaire right now. Up here. And one more. Join the chat. Join the poll right now. Before Russia and Belarus, or outside Russia and Belarus, where do you want me to visit this year? Narva, the Russian border, and Narva, Tallinn, Estonia, or Riga, Estonia, Riga, Latvia. Hope you guys can participate. Last time I was in Black Cat says, what is Belarus like? Black Cat. Black Cat says, when I was young, great, I knew no better. As I got older, loved it. Spell check. And yeah, speaking about Tallinn, last time I was in going to this trip, the previous and my last trip from my last visa, my last days of visa, by the way. And guys, I was so exhausted. I was traveling to St. Petersburg because previous time I traveled to the 10-day or something like that trip to Voronezh, and I was so much filming. I was really exhausted, guys. It was pretty tough. because I traveled to, Tallinn, Narva, Ivangorod, and basically every day I was traveling from St. Petersburg to Moscow, 2 nights in Moscow, then to Voronezh, then Semiluki, going back and forth, then went to Lipetsk, back to Moscow, St. Petersburg, overnight to Tallinn, Helsinki. Oh my god, that was 10 days. That was all crazy, and that was pretty crazy. So I was really tired because the next weeks I've been like busy and doing stuff and editing. Portik. No. So I was really exhausted. So I went to St. Petersburg last time, and I was just wanted to. I didn't do a lot of streams. I just did, a few streams every day, but I didn't film a lot. So that was a little bit like taking the time back. But still, I feel like I need to somehow recharge myself in Russia. That's what I do. Recharge myself in Russia. But anyways, that was the last time. My visa ended also previous, so I had to, yes, cat heard. Yes, he was asking to go out, but it's too late for that, guys. Come on, man, you cannot go outside. It's 1 a.m. Right, guys, you guys are participating in the poll. 55% currently wants to go to Riga. 36% wants to go to Narva / Russian border, see Russian border from Narva. Notice this is during the situation where I'm not able to, my passport is off, and you can travel in Europe by the way with your ID card. That's why it's good. The Marek says Привет из Slovakia. Hello Slovakia. Slovakia is one of the places I really want to visit. Slovakia, Slovenia, Czech Republic, Romania, Bulgaria. These are the places. And of course, number one is actually Serbia. Love y'all. Go to bed, sir. Yes, in a bit I will. I got a super chat hanging, so I need to respect the super chats. I need to sneeze more than anything else. But guys, it was pretty. But what you think about, by the way, the new hoodie as well? Moldova, and of course, yes, Moldova, and of course, Pridnestrovye. Pridnestrovye is something that I want to go. If I go to Moldova, the main place would be to go to Pridnestrovye and of course also to Moldova. And there's a lot of places I want to visit. It's on my list. All I need to do is find, first of all, the financing, and second, well, if there's financing, I will do it. I don't care about anything else, but sure, I would need to have the time, but the most thing is financing, because it takes a lot of time, effort, etc. Yelena was in Moldova when she was 6 years old, and we don't know what decade are we talking about, or even century, by the way. Travel by shoes is okay. All right, here we go. Let's wait for a couple more voting. I knew it that it was in USSR. Well, that's an easy task to know. By the way, I look different there than here. Here I see the bigger screen, but when I look at from my desktop, from the laptop, and it looks more broader, wider. All right, guys, time to release. Marek says he wanted to meet with me when he was flying to Russia. I wrote to you an email, but I was not able to connect. Marek, it's possible that I was not in Russia because I'm not in Russia even most of the time. I would like to be, but like every few weeks, 3 weeks, I'm going to Russia, if best case scenario. So I'm sorry, I don't remember. Maybe there's a lot of different stuff that is sent to me, but hope you are not mad. Извините, если не дошла весть. But thank you for willing to meet. I appreciate it. Kieran Williams, Slovenia, nice. Right, guys, here's the end of the poll. It was a short one. The poll says 53% want me to go to Riga. That would need me to actually try to know this trip 2 weeks beforehand, so I could get it not the cheapest price, but like $50-60 to fly to Riga. Otherwise I would have to go to 2 hours to Estonia, then 5 hours by bus. So it's gonna take a half a day traveling to Riga by ferry and bus. And 40% wants to go to Narva, quite close. Notice the votes, there's only 15 votes, so we can say nobody wants to go to Tallinn. That's what I noticed as well. All right, you amazing people, love and God bless you. Yes, God bless, guys. I'm gonna finish this off as well. Valtteri Tervevan. Eleni is from Slovenia. Yes, Melania, you mean Trump's wife, right? Healthy a lot of Slovenia, apparently. I have to go to sleep, it's 2 a.m. Yes, it's 1 hour difference right now. Hi Igor, sorry for the late connection. Akrazam, it's all good. Please watch the beginning of the video where I lay down for you about the border and my thoughts about it. Good night, Black Cat. Good night, everybody. Good day, by the way, Black Cat, not good night probably. Or is it night? It was nice to see you after a long time, but now I have to go to bed. Good night, everyone. Good night, lady. And I also want to thank you for watching. Guys, if you're just joining in, remember to go back and watch the video where I tell you about the rumors, about so-called news, about Finnish border opening. It might not be, but it might as well. There's a little chance. According to the news, no earlier than late February 2025. And yes, after the video, if you want to support the trips, use the links in the description to support. Remember to leave a like, leave a comment, and share this to our friends. Right, guys. Thank you, Black Cat, for the super chats. And good night. It's time to process all this information. Christopher, Kieran, Lina, Black Cat the Legend, MSB Sajah, hello sir, Akrazam, Yelena, Valtteri, we got Marek, who else is here? Travel by Shoes, by the way, good name. And all you wonderful people, Imo, Don John's son, Rich, and all you fun people all in the internet. Good night and have a great. Let's hope the border will open soon. Let's pray for it. Bye bye, y'all. See you soon. New videos coming up.